Maya takes a picture of herself before leaving the house, then another one, then another. The first one looks too serious. The second one looks too forced. The third one almost works, but the lighting feels wrong. So she moves closer to the window, tilts her face slightly, fixes her hair, changes the angle, and tries again. A few minutes later, she has 20 versions of the same moment. Only one of them will be posted. And once it is posted, the picture is no longer just a picture. It becomes a question. Who saw it? Who liked it? Who ignored it? Who replied? Who came back to look again? From the outside, it may look simple. Just another selfie. Just another person posting their face online. But psychologically, selfies are more complicated than they seem. Because a selfie is not only an image, it can be a mirror, a message, a performance, a memory, a request for attention, a way of saying, without saying it directly, look at me, notice me, tell me I still matter. But it is important to start with something clear. Posting selfies does not automatically mean someone is shallow, insecure, or obsessed with themselves. Sometimes, a selfie is just expression. A person likes their outfit, their hair looks good, the light is beautiful, they feel confident that day. They want to remember that version of themselves. There is nothing wrong with enjoying your own image. There is nothing wrong with being visible. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be seen. The psychology becomes interesting when the selfie stops being just a form of expression and starts becoming a way to regulate emotion. When the person does not simply post because they feel good, they post in order to feel good. That difference matters. For some people, a selfie works like a small emotional test. They put an image of themselves into the world and wait for the world to answer. A like feels like confirmation. A compliment feels like relief. A message feels like proof that they are still desirable, interesting, attractive, relevant. And silence can feel louder than criticism. No reaction, no comment, no one noticing. Suddenly, the person starts questioning the photo, then the face, then the body, then the self. This is why the reaction to a selfie can affect someone's mood more than they expected. The image may be small, but the emotional meaning behind it is not. In many cases, people are not just posting what they look like, they are posting the version of themselves they hope others will recognize. Confident, beautiful, mysterious, successful, happy, desired, unbothered, in control. Every selfie is a small act of selection. You choose the angle, the expression, the light, the distance, the filter, the moment. You decide which version of you is allowed to appear. And in a world where people are constantly being watched, compared, and judged, controlling your own image can feel powerful. A selfie gives the person something that real life often does not give: the chance to edit the impression. In real life, people see you from the side. They catch you tired. They hear your awkward words. They notice things you did not prepare. But in a selfie, you can pause the world. You can choose the frame. You can decide how much of yourself enters the room. For some people, this is creative. For others, it becomes protective. They are not just showing themselves. They are managing how they might be seen. And sometimes, behind a person who posts many selfies, there is not arrogance. There is anxiety. Anxiety about being forgotten. Anxiety about not being attractive enough. Anxiety about losing attention. Anxiety about becoming invisible. Social media has changed the meaning of being seen. Before, you could go days, weeks, even months without publicly presenting your face to everyone you knew. Now, visibility can feel like a form of existence. If people see you, you are present. If they react, you are relevant. If they compliment you, you feel confirmed. And if you disappear for too long, part of you may wonder if you are being forgotten. That fear does not always appear clearly. It can hide behind a casual post, a mirror selfie, a gym selfie, a car selfie, a selfie in bed, a selfie after crying, a selfie before going out. Each one may say something different. Sometimes it says, "I feel good today." Sometimes it says, "I want someone specific to see me." Sometimes it says, I need to feel like I still exist outside my own thoughts. Sometimes it says, please confirm the version of me I am trying to believe in. This does not mean every selfie is a cry for help. That would be too simple. Some people post often because they are comfortable being visible. Some enjoy beauty, fashion, makeup, fitness, style, photography, or self-expression. Some grew up in digital culture, where documenting yourself feels normal, almost automatic. For them, taking selfies may be no deeper than writing in a visual diary, a record of phases, a way to remember who they were at different times, a way to play with identity. The problem is not the selfie. The problem begins when the person no longer knows how they feel about themselves until other people respond, when the camera becomes a mirror that only works if the audience approves. That is when self-image becomes unstable. Because if your sense of beauty depends on reaction, it will rise and fall with the algorithm. If your confidence depends on comments, it will disappear when people are quiet. If your worth depends on being noticed, you will start living with a constant fear of becoming unseen. And this can create a cycle. The person feels unsure. They post. They receive attention. They feel better. The relief lasts for a while. Then it fades. The insecurity returns. So they post again. Not always because they want to share a moment, but because they want to recover a feeling. In that cycle, attention becomes emotional fuel. It does not fully satisfy. It only postpones the emptiness. And the more the person depends on it, the more sensitive they become to the smallest changes. Fewer likes, a delayed reply, a person who viewed but did not react, a comment that feels too cold, a photo that does not perform as well as the last one. The screen becomes a place where the self is measured, again and again. One of the most interesting things about selfies is that they can create both control and dependence at the same time. The person controls the image, but then loses control over the reaction. They can choose how to appear, but they cannot choose how others will respond. And that gap can become addictive, because every post carries uncertainty. Will people like this version of me? Will they notice? Will they desire me? Will they validate what I am trying to feel? This uncertainty is part of what keeps people checking, refreshing, looking, waiting. A selfie can become less about the face and more about the emotional suspense after it is posted. There is also another layer, identity. People do not post only what they are. They post what they are trying to become. Someone who posts confident selfies may be practicing confidence. Someone who posts attractive selfies may be trying to feel desirable. Someone who posts happy selfies may be trying to stay connected to a version of life that feels lighter than the one they are actually living. Online identity is not always fake. Sometimes it is aspirational. It shows a version of the self that the person is trying to reach, maintain, or convince themselves is real. That is why judging someone only by their selfies can be misleading. A person may look confident and still be fragile, may look self-obsessed and actually be seeking connection, may look happy and still feel lonely, may look powerful and still depend deeply on being approved. The face online does not always reveal the emotional life behind it. Sometimes it hides it very well. But there is also a healthier side to this. For people who have spent years feeling invisible, taking selfies can be a form of reclaiming space. Someone who was criticized for their appearance may start photographing themselves as an act of repair. Someone who never felt beautiful may use selfies to slowly become familiar with their own face. Someone who changed their body, their style, their identity, or their life may want to document that transformation. In that sense, a selfie can be more than vanity. It can be evidence. Evidence that the person is here, that they changed, that they survived a phase, that they are allowing themselves to be seen. The same behavior can come from very different places. One person posts selfies because they enjoy themselves. Another posts because they are trying to convince themselves they are enough. One posts from freedom. Another posts from hunger. One shares. Another begs silently for confirmation. From the outside, the images may look similar, but emotionally, they are not the same. This is why the real question is not, why does this person post so many selfies? The better question is, what happens inside them after they post? Do they feel free or anxious? Do they forget about it and move on, or keep checking? Do they enjoy sharing or need the reaction? Do they feel more connected to themselves or more dependent on how others see them? A healthy relationship with selfies leaves room for the self to exist without applause. The person can post and enjoy it, but they can also not post and still feel real. They can receive compliments and feel good, but silence does not destroy them. They can like their image, but they are not trapped inside it. The danger begins when the selfie becomes the main place where the person tries to find value, because the internet is a very unstable mirror. Some days it reflects admiration, other days it reflects silence. And if someone keeps asking an unstable mirror who they are, they will never feel fully safe in themselves. Maybe this is the deeper psychology behind people who post selfies all the time. They may not simply be saying, "Look how beautiful I am." Sometimes they are asking, "Do you still see me? Do I still matter? Am I still enough? Can I believe this version of myself?" And those questions are deeply human. Most people want to be seen. Most people want to feel attractive, relevant, remembered, chosen. The difference is that social media turns this human need into a visible system. It gives numbers to attention. It turns approval into notifications. It makes comparison immediate. It turns the face into content. And it teaches people to check their own value through other people's reactions. So the issue is not whether someone posts selfies. The issue is whether the selfie is a form of expression or a form of emotional survival. Because expression expands you. Dependence shrinks you. Expression says, "This is me today." Dependence asks, "Is this me enough?" And maybe the most important thing is learning to notice the difference. If someone posts because they feel alive, creative, confident, playful, or connected, that can be healthy. But if they post because they feel empty, invisible, anxious, or desperate for proof, the selfie may be pointing to something deeper, a need to be reassured, a fear of disappearing, a fragile relationship with self-worth, a longing to be chosen by the eyes of others. And the answer is not shame. Shame only makes people hide the need instead of understanding it. The answer is awareness. To ask, what am I hoping this picture will give me? Do I want to share this moment? Or do I need it to fix how I feel? Would this still matter if nobody reacted? Can I feel beautiful, interesting, or real before the screen confirms it? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are useful. Because the goal is not to stop posting. The goal is to stop needing the post to hold your self-esteem together. A person can enjoy selfies and still be emotionally grounded. They can be visible without being dependent. They can share their face without handing their worth to the reaction. They can like attention without being controlled by it. That is the difference. The selfie is not the problem. The emotional contract behind it is, and maybe, the next time we see someone constantly posting their face, we can look with more nuance. Maybe they are expressing confidence. Maybe they are building identity. Maybe they are seeking connection. Maybe they are asking for validation. Maybe they are trying to feel real in a world that keeps turning people into images. And maybe, at different moments, all of those things can be true. Because behind every selfie, there is not just a face. There is a relationship between the person, their image, and the eyes they imagine watching. That is where the psychology begins. Not in the photo itself, but in the need, the fear, the hope, or the freedom that made the person post it. Thank you for watching. If this video made you think about your own relationship with selfies, social media, and being seen, leave a comment below. Do you post because you enjoy it, or because you need the reaction? And if you enjoy exploring psychology, human behavior, identity, and the hidden patterns behind everyday choices, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.